There is. I do want to ask you a question. So you've been through all the treatments that I
Hmm.
taught. Well, not all of them. All the ones that we've agreed that I teach you, because there are other ones that I haven't taught you, but they're not for public release at this time. What do you, as a comparison, because you've done NLP, you've gone through psychology courses at a university. I mean, where is it that you're at with these treatments compared to anything you've heard about or read about?
Sure. Well, I think that when I first sort of started speaking to you, I was looking for an understanding of how best to treat people that were suicidal. Because part of what I do is wanting to move people from the worst place of their life to the best in the quickest time possible. So I needed to understand how to help people that were on the edge. Now, when I was watching, for example, the Tony film on suicide, like I felt that it wasn't that it was marginally difficult to do, and I thought that there could be an easier way. But then, yeah, I didn't have the knowledge, and I sort of did a bit of research, which is how I came across sort of you and everything that you did. So for me, I was looking for like how to understand what it was that caused people to move off the edge, as well as how best to treat it. So I think that it's incredibly fascinating with regards to people that are suicidal and treating them, as well as people that have trauma. When I was looking into the sort of MTR, MTR for me is something that's similar to other patterns that I've seen of. It's basically in essence, it's putting them in state in a pattern interrupt. I thought the 4 phase was very fascinating, adding in the different things and manipulation. I think there could be some things that are similar-ish in NLP with different patterns, but nothing that targets the VAK and imagining that happening. They've got other patterns, but not like that. And then I think that P.M.C.H.O is very, very fascinating to see it on myself, but I think it would be more interesting to see it once I do it on other people to see the results that it gets. But my understanding of all 3 is they're basically just advanced patterns to do on someone to help, as you say, unlock or decode, obviously from your hacking background, whatever it is that's in the person's mind. So yeah, I think it's incredibly fascinating to understand, and certainly very helpful with the people that I treat. I think the most interesting thing will be to see the results that I get with the people that I work with.
So do you think you got your value for the program that I taught you?
Yeah, I certainly do. I think that I think the most interesting thing for me was understanding what it is that leads people to suicide. And I thought the framework that you have of like moving through the different sections and like intensity of it, I think that's really interesting. So yeah, I found that really, really fascinating to go through, and certainly something that I'm bearing in mind with moving forward. And I know there's different stuff that contradicts like the fears. I thought the 2 fears that we're born with, loud noises and fear of falling, I think that's very interesting. As opposed to fear of not being enough and fear of not being loved, which is obviously Tony's stuff. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think that the course is very fascinating. I think the most interesting thing for me is, and most helpful, is the follow-ups. Like after I've chatted with like a client and us chatting, I think that's where I get a lot of value. And understanding, yeah, I mean, to be able to treat someone that is suicidal this quickly, I think it's priceless. I think it's really, really fascinating. It surprises me that more people wouldn't be using this already, I guess.
So, and it's been very personal for you as well, because you've lost somebody to suicide.
Yeah.
And so you have a motivation to help others not have that experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had no idea that it was going to happen when I lost my dad. And it surprised me, and I did a lot of searching and understanding as to why. And certainly this helps me understand the why, but also how to prevent other people in those sorts of circumstances moving forward. I mean, especially in the seminars that I run and things like that. And these techniques are very useful, but perhaps more so with one-on-one clients than for seminar use. Although it is still very fascinating to do 4-phase in a group.
Well, it was my pleasure to have instructed you into the Nu-Rekall methodology and system of zero suicide prevention. If you don't mind, I'll be using this little clip here of you
Sure.
to promote the procedures in the future for others that want to be trained.
Sure.
And like I said, it was a real pleasure to have taught you. And the follow-ups, they don't end. We still go on because you'll have other questions.